What up, people? I'm here. I see y'all. Thank you for coming in. I don't know if I'm gonna Instagram. I don't know if I'm gonna do this thing all the way through here on Instagram. You might need to come over to YouTube to see it properly, cause it's you know straight up and down on Instagram. I see y'all. JD, I hope you got my message, man, about running out of time. We're just gonna let some more people get in here, and then I'm gonna start this. Y'all hang in there. I hope you don't have a whole lot to do. It's not the weekend, but it feels like it. No, I don't own the copyrights to the music you're listening to, but damn, that's my daddy. How about you don't mess with me right now? I'm just saying. Um, about to start this in about let's see, about 5 more minutes. I'll give it about 5 more minutes. What up, Instagram? Y'all are actually, numbers wise, you're actually killing YouTube right now. YouTube is they slow grinding over there. What up, Rhonda? I see you. Jelly, what? What? Man, come on, Jelly, stop lying. You miss me, bro? That makes me feel very good, man. Man, that's love, bro. For real? That's what's up. A few more minutes here, y'all. We're going to go ahead and go live with this. You understand what we're seeing right now is the entire video of my father's service, his funeral service. What's good, homie? I see you, Ruffin Kendrick Edwards. No, the music is on play. It's on play. My daddy was the best. I know how you feel. What up, mama? I see you. Justin, thank you for coming in, sir. Bugsy, thank you for being here. YouTube, what you doing? All right now. Here we go. About 3 more minutes. 10 after. I just was really trying to be polite and let some people get in here. So, hey. Queen, nice to see you. Your hands, thank you for tuning in. I wonder if my nieces is going to tune in on this. I think they will. Justin, thank you for tuning in, sir. 10 after 8, we're going to go ahead and, 10 after 6 my time, we're going to go ahead and do this. Which is just 2 more minutes. Y'all hang in there. I just need to, let y'all know so you don't trip out. When this video stops, I have to go ahead and switch to CD. All right? So when it stops, that's just the halfway point, or slightly beyond halfway point. All right? Just so y'all know. Got about 100 seconds to go, and we're going to start this video. Hall & Oates. Yeah, I got that gold record on my wall. I'm really honored and privileged to have that. I see you, Black BRB. I see you. I hear you. Love. Yeah, for real. I hear you. Heaven help us all for real right about now with everything that's going on. Oh my goodness. We got about 45 seconds to go. And we're going to hit play for y'all. I'm going to be quiet so y'all can hear what's going on. Everybody on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Love, love, love to you. If y'all don't know, I'm sure everybody here knows it's my father's death anniversary, 29 years gone. It's about to run up on 610 right about now. So we're about to go ahead and get it popping. And yeah, at some point I will post this again in a better format. But right now it is what it is. A quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for having these people join me here today. May they feel enlightened and inspired and special in having an opportunity to see this video. May all of the people who are suffering right now due to COVID be healthy and safe and in quick recovery. And may the rest of us who are experiencing some of America's racist issues have some sort of peace today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the future. Amen. Here we go.
Right. Bergen Cablevision presents a celebration of life. Memorial services of the Temptations, David Ruffin.
Y'all on Instagram, come on over and tune in into your YouTube so you can see the whole thing.
Here I stand, won't you please let me in? And you said, I will tomorrow. Jesus said, I am He who supplies all your needs. And I know, but tomorrow, tomorrow, I'll give my life tomorrow. I thought about today. Oh, my heart, it's so much easier to say tomorrow. Who promised you tomorrow? Use the Lord today, for tomorrow very well might be too late. Jesus said, won't you please take my hand? And you said, I will tomorrow. Jesus said, I am He who supplies all your needs. And you said, I know, but tomorrow, oh, tomorrow, I'll give Him my life. Oh, I thought about today. Oh, but it's so much easier to say tomorrow. Who promised you tomorrow? Better choose the Lord today, for tomorrow very well might be too late. And who said tomorrow would ever come?
Hallowed be thy name.
That's the audio, y'all. It's not me or my computer. It's how it's recorded. Just so you know. It'll come back. I'll turn it up a little bit.
To give the Lord a hand clap of praise. Amen, amen. The God is good and kind. No matter how bad
Hold on a second. Let me just make sure everything is running right.
the circumstance,
Yeah.
God is still sitting on the
Here we go.
still in charge. He is a merciful God. And no matter how bad the situation is, God will be right by the side. So he said, no, I'll never leave you, nor forsake you. He said, no, I'll be with you, always, even to the end of the world. We're blessed this afternoon to have with us Reverend Edward Van Jr., pastor of
I know the sound is bad. It's the disc itself. It's very old. Very old media. I apologize. It will clear up.
Let's receive them with a hearty amen. Words of comfort come to us from the Holy Scriptures. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, beginning with verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood will not inherit the kingdom of God, neither shall death corruption inherit incorruption.
Yeah, this, I know this sucks in advance. Let me see here.
We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the
I don't want to
twinkling of
stop it.
the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this
Should I
mortal
advance to
shall
where
have
the
put on
sound is better, or are y'all cool just seeing it as it
then shall be
is?
brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. The Lord add a blessing to the reading of His word for the edification and the strength of our faith. Our Father, we come at this moment with our heads bowed and our souls lifted up to your throne of grace. We come in this our moment of weakness, seeking your strength. We come in this our hour of pain, seeking your peace. We come, our Father, in this our seeking for your comfort and for your guidance. We come, our Father, to your seat of mercy, and we ask that you would comfort this family in this hour of sorrow. We ask that you would be to them the strength that they need for this time. We pray, our Father, for their unity. We pray, our Father, that you would stand by them as they go through this particular moment. Help them to understand that you can be all that they need in this hour of stress. Our Father, if there be those here today who may not be in the pardon of their sins, help them to understand, our Father, that the wages of sin is still there, and the gift of God is eternal life. Help them to understand that they must allow Jesus into their living room and expect him to be in their dining room. Help them, our Father, to know that they got to meet Jesus for themselves. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ that you would give them the strength that they need. Our Father, we know that you are merciful. We know that you're loving. We know and we understand that you are compassionate. And our Father, we pray for this deceased brother. We pray that in your compassionate way, that you will look with tender mercy upon him. We pray, our Father, that you would allow him to come peacefully into thy presence. We pray in the name of Jesus that you would watch over all of us who are here. Give us your spirit as we go about this day. And now, Lord, when the time has come for us all to stand before thee, help us to understand that we've got to stand in the judgment. Help us to understand that by the grave and our road and we can't go around it. Then help us to understand that one of these days we all going to have to stand before the judgment seat. Help us to understand that time will only last for a little while. Help us to understand that everything we have down here is temporary. But one of these days, in the name of Jesus.
Hallelujah. I'll be glad when the sound comes back. It'll come back before y'all see Stevie and everybody.
One of these days. One of these days. One of these days, you'll all be going home.
One of these days, you'll all be going home.
The life in heaven. Next we'll have a song, My Way, by Mr. Ronnie DeMille. Following, we'll have 3-minute reflections by Mrs. Esther G. Edwards, Mrs. Rita Griffin, and Mr. Larry
Hudson. Let's give them a hearty welcome.
Here you go.
I'd like to say to the family that I'm very honored to be here and perform this song in memory of one of the greatest vocalists that ever lived.
There go Uncle Jimmy, y'all.
And one of the best friends I've
There
ever
go Uncle
known.
Quincy. It's about to get good now. Oh, yeah.
friend, I'll say it so clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way.
Oh, Ronnie.
I love laugh and cry, had my fears, my share of losing, oh yeah. And now a tears subside. Oh, I find it all so amusing just to think I did all of that. And then I sing, I didn't shy away. I say, oh yeah, much more than this. I did my.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, there were times I'm sure you knew when I did all more than I could choose. But through it all, when there was doubt, I gave it all. I laid out.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I wasted all.
Sorry, y'all.
Only did what I had to do, yeah. We all get weak, and our lives sometimes. Oh, you gotta hold on till you get things right, yeah. I did it my way, yes I did, oh yeah. Whether it was rain and pain out of my life, oh yeah, yeah. Ain't you proud to beg my friends for a little help right now? All I need is just somebody's hand, yeah. I did it my way, oh yeah. Did it my way, Did it my way, Oh, I did it my way.
My way.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I feel very honored. I'm very honored to be here today to represent the Gordy family, the Motown family, and so many of those associated with David Ruffin during the time that he was with us. You know, I've known David And my family has known David probably just a few days after he arrived in Detroit from Meridian, Mississippi. A friend brought him over on Farnsworth and St. Antoine to Anna Records, which was owned by my sister Gwendolyn Gordy. David signed a contract with Anna, and his first recordings as a solo artist was on Anna Records. David needed a place to stay, and my folks owned a building. They had about 5 storefronts and 2 5-room flats upstairs. David recorded with Anna Records down in one of the storefronts, and he lived in my family's building there. So you see, we have known David for a long, long time. It was shortly after he made those couple of records that he went over to Motown and met Berry Gordy and joined the Temptations. The Temptations was a fantastic group, and David was just the kind of person that they needed for their replacement. Gwen had said that David's roots were in the gospel. David could sing. She said that David, even when he rehearsed, and he rehearsed hard, that even when he rehearsed, it was as if he was on stage. And that was very easy to see. At Motown, Berry Gordy was about making stars. And stars make legends, and stars make institutions. The Temptations are an institution, and David Ruffin was a very integral part of that and of helping that to happen. You know, I had a speech all prepared that I was going to give, and with 3 minutes you cannot talk about David Ruffin and get all of the things in you want to say in 3 minutes. But this morning I opened my mail. I came by the Motown Museum office and I opened my mail, and there was a letter from a young man that was written on June the 1st. So it means that he wrote it the moment he probably heard of David's demise. And what he said in this short letter just kind of summed up what I was going to say, and I think it would be the consensus of David's associates, his family, and his friends. And I'd like to read it to you in closing. It said, "Dear Mrs. Edwards, I am writing to offer my sympathy to the family, friends, colleagues, and others who may have been touched by his beautiful voice, or to those who may have known Mr. David Ruffin. I am a follower of classic Motown acts, and the Temptations' original lineup was a tough act to follow, considering the harmony, stage preference, stage performance, with the crafty choreography and the popularity the group held under Mr. Ruffin's leadership. Black America must get real and deal effectively with the social ills distance to be threatened. Remembered by many for his beautiful talent, and I would like his efforts at Motown to live on in the hearts of fans who grew up. America was making waves across the nation. God bless all of you, and may we have a moment of silent prayer to honor a great fallen entertainer, and sincerely, Terry Edwards." And as I came to Motown, I was personal manager of the Temptations. They were a fantastic group. David was quiet-spoken, and that group was really together. They were synchronized, and they loved each other. They went on to be the institution that they are. And I'd just like to say here and now, especially to the family and to the tents, to Eddie and to Dennis, you have our deepest, sincere, heartfelt sympathy. And though David is gone for now, he is here forever.
Rita was the first journalist to write about most of the early Motown acts, including the Temptations. I am honored to be asked to share her remembrance of the Temptations and David Ruffin with you all. Because she was there at the beginning, Rita feels she has a monopoly on Temptation memories, but I too remember them fondly. The record that first inspired me to ask a girl to dance was My Girl. I was 11, David Ruffin sang lead, and I haven't stopped dancing to the Temptations since. I will now read Rita's remarks. David Ruffin has to be recognized as a singer because he was a leading voice of one of the world's most popular vocal groups, the Temptations. Friends, fans, and neighbors in Detroit made no secret of their love for and loyalty to Motown's Temptations, but we still had our favorites in the group. When we heard David Ruffin singing lead, we would automatically turn up the volume on our car radios and stereos. Then we would sing along with all our might like we too were members of the Temptations. I first saw David Ruffin with the Temps in the old Hitsville studio. The group was singing background at a session for a marvelous recording produced by Brian Holland. I crowded into the control room with onlookers barely out of their teens, many of whom would become famous within a few short years. There was a real good feeling being shared that day. There was not a person among us who was not having fun. David was cracking the Temps up with his clowning around. Like the performers in the studio back then, I was at the beginning stages of my career. I was an entertainment writer, and I knew instantly days like those were going to be one of the perks of my profession. Those real good feelings carried over to the 20 Grand nightclub when the Temptation records started to become hits. The economy must have been a lot better back then because we made it our business to be at the club almost every night of their engagement. Where we got the money or the clothes to attend that many shows escapes me, but most of the other memories remain intact. David Ruffin helped to make good singing and good times a hallmark of those Temptation shows of the 60s. The performances were worth standing in long lines at the Fox Theater, Leo's Casino in Cleveland, or the Copacabana in New York. Friends, fans, and neighbors would drive to nearby towns, charter buses, and fly almost anywhere to see the group perform. I think we all considered ourselves family because members of the Temptations were so accessible. They lived and shopped in our community. When they finished the show, they didn't leave by a side door. They would sit and talk with people in the audience. When other artists were in town, they would be on hand to lend support, especially David Ruffin. I can't recall a stage he wouldn't jump on and sing, no matter how large or how small the club was. Since we felt like family, we felt free to talk about the Temps like family. Following each televised appearance, we talk about David's latest effort toward individuality. If the other members of the group wore their hair in a natural, his would be curly. His wardrobe of eyeglasses seemed to range from neon color to plaid. Once when the Temptations were appearing on the Ed Sullivan Show, David had to perform with his injured wrist in a cast. We shook our heads and said, "That David, anything to be different." His gritty, gentle, tear-stained, intense voice is what really made the distinction. Some find it hard to believe that David Ruffin was only with the Temptations 4.5 years. In our hearts, that tenure is timeless. Remember when we packed the Fisher Theater in 1982 for the group's reunion? David was one of 7 Temptations performing. The audience tried to be the 8th. Although we couldn't make our money stretch like we did in the 60s, most of us caught the show at the Fisher at least twice and still tried to dress sharp. The engagement served as just one of the many reminders that the Temptations' legacy as hitmakers began with David Ruffin singing lead. My Girl started it all in 1964. No less than 3 top 10 records a year followed, including It's Growing, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, I Wish It Would Rain, and I Could Never Love Another After Loving You. David Ruffin set an indelible criteria for the Temptations. His influence remains. His induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in recent years solidified his standing among his colleagues. Friends, fans, and neighbors always knew he was a classic soul man. As we say our goodbyes, I would like to say thank you, David, for the good singing and the good times, and for turning the perks of my profession into the bonus of treasured memories. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First of all, giving honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Pastor Smith, other distinguished pulpit ministers, the David Ruffin family, fans of the Temptations all over the world. On behalf of WCHB staff, Mrs. Mary Bell, President of the Bell Broadcasting Company, Dr. Wendell Cox, Vice President and General Manager, Terry Arnold, Operations and Program Director for the company, I would like to offer a few words of comfort to the family. If you allow me for just a moment to use my imagination, I'm sure that if David could leave us one lasting memory, he would put it in the form of a song. The lyrics in that song would say this: when I must leave you for a little while, do not grieve and shed wild tears, and hug your sorrow through the years. But start each day with a gallant smile, and for my sake and in his name, live on and do all things the same. Feed not your loneliness on empty days, but fill each waking hour in useful ways. Reach out in comfort, in turn and in cheer, and I will hold you so near. For I'm the one that has sunshine on a rainy day, and I've even got the month of May. So never, never be afraid to die, for I am waiting for you on cloud 9 in the sky. Thank you.
I heard a songwriter say, got to die one time, ain't got to die no more. You know, there was a song that said that I believe if David could speak this morning, he would say, if I don't rise, know that everything is all right. That I'm going home to live with my Father. And I tell you, one of these old days, we're all going home. When we were born, every step we take is towards our death. We were not meant to be here to stay always, for this world is not our home. We're just passing by. All my hopes, all my treasures, I place them up on high. And you know I can't feel at home in this world anymore. One of these old days after a while, I won't have to cry no more. I'm going away to a land where there's always howdy and never goodbye. Well, I'll be able to sit down at the welcome table and see Jesus for myself. I won't have to hear about somebody dying, but I'll see my grandmother over there. Somebody said, I got a Savior in that land. And I don't know about you, but I want to go to that land. One day after a while, when the clouds roll away, I'll see my Jesus face, and I'll hear his voice saying, servant, well done. Amen, amen. This is a homegoing celebration this morning. We will now have a song by Detroit's own, Othea Bonds, and then following her, Joyce Allen, Remember Me, Miss Othea Bonds. God bless you.
to this song for a very dear friend. Must have been dark there in my shadow to never have sunlight on your face, but you were content to let me shine. You always walked a step behind. I was the one with all the glory, and you were the one with all the strength. Only a face without a name. I never heard you once complain. Did you ever know you're my hero? Yes, you are. And everything I'd like to be, I can fly higher than an eagle. Yes, I can. With you as a wind beneath my wings. Hey. Mm-hmm. It might have appeared to go unnoticed. Mm-hmm. But I got it all right here in my heart. Yes, I do. Said I know. Oh, I know the truth is. I would be nothing without you. Oh, you never know. You're my hero. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And everything I want, I need, I gotta be there. Cause you see, with all your strength, your love, your songs, I can fly higher and higher. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Hey, with you as a wind beneath my wings, I can fly higher. Yes, I can. You as a wind beneath my wings every day of my life. You as a wind beneath my wings, my wings. Hey, hey. God bless you, dear.
Giving me an opportunity as just a fan to come forth and share my blessings with you all. I'd like to read a poem which I wrote 5 years ago, which is entitled, Remember Me. Remember me. As perfect a thing there ever was, created with love, created to love, and virtually from love. Like a city which sat upon a hill, my way was clear. The world at my feet, a masterpiece just for me. The air was pure, my substance clean, and all that occupied the space about was like a precious part of a dream. I was not made a robot, a machine, only someone to share God's love, God's dream. But gradually, I began to change. I glorified myself too much. I rejoiced too much. I exercised my freedom of choice one time too much. And now, I'm no longer on that hill, for I've overcome myself with zeal. By my hand, I see the world crumble all about. I plead, I beg, oh please God, I shout. Through my eyes, I see destruction, but in my heart I feel construction. The new, replacing the old, a renaissance to fit the mold. Judging myself on bended knee, I ask my God to have mercy, please. I know I've hurt and let him down. I don't deserve to cry. No, not even make a sound. But as I quietly fade out of sight, I hope I will be forgiven with all of my might. And one day, in that bright and new world, filed under M will be my cornerstone. Way down deep in the earth sand will be a brief description entitled, Man, Remember Me. Remember me. The family would like to thank all of who so graciously came by, called them by telephone, sent cards, telegrams, floor tributes, and monetary gifts. There are not words to express how grateful they are. They cannot acknowledge all of the condolences, but they would like to give special appreciation and recognition to the following people. They are as follows. The Reverend Robert Smith Jr., pastor of the New Bethel Baptist Church, New Bethel's nurses and ushers, Mr. O'Neill D. Swanson, Sr., Ms. Aretha Franklin, Mr. Bob Johnson, MJJ Productions, Miss Fannie Tyler, Miss Rita Griffin, and Mr. Steve Hosley for their outstanding assistance and support. They would also like to thank Billy Taylor, Therian Hill, Cornelius Grant, William Robinson, Marvin Ruffin, Althea Barnes, Councilman Clyde Cleveland, Dennis Edwards, and Eddie Kendrick. Acknowledgments will be made at a later date. May God bless each and every one of you from Davis Eli Ruffin Sr. Jr. family.
Mr. Stevie Wonder.
As was said a few moments ago, we are in fact in the house of the Lord. So we must pay all honor and respect to the Lord Jesus Christ. For us, having in our lifetime, whether directly or indirectly, the joy of knowing the person, the voice, the music of Mr. David Ruffin. And we must thank him for allowing us the pleasure of there being a Motown, a Berry Gordy, the Gordy family, those who opened their hearts to hear the incredible talent of individually and as well collectively the group The Temptations. For as was said earlier, they are legends. In our lifetime, we've had the pleasure of many great talents. I'd like to take a moment of your time to speak briefly about those legends and those talented people and those great moments and those memories that songs bring back to our minds and those singers that create such emotion that we never forget. The reality is that they are all human beings. We are all human beings. And we need consistently, as artists, a sense of love, a sense of caring, a sense of hope. For those, and you know who you are, that consistently have given that hope and love and gave it to the life of David Ruffin, you must feel a sense of joy knowing that you gave all that you could give in your life, in his lifetime to him. But we're confronted with a problem that takes every single one of us as African Americans and human beings all over the world to stop. For we are confronted with the most devastating slave owner of all times in this world today. And that is a slave owner that is killing thousands upon hundreds of thousands of children. Far more people have been killed because of gang violence and drug abuse than the war of Vietnam. We are confronted with a world and time that we all must reach out in our hearts to open up your churches and not feel that you're so high and mighty that you cannot touch that child who is lost without a mother or father. We must open up our hearts, those who are fortunate enough to give, to consistently give, to fight against the slave owner as is drugs. Because it is what we do alive right now that is going to determine what happens to our future. I would like to sing a song which is called these three words: David, I love you. I will always love you, and I feel I can speak to him in the spirit because I know wherever two or more people believe, then God is in between. I would like to share this song with you. Thank you.
time that they heard you say, Mother or Father, I love you? And when was the last time that they heard you say, Daughter or son, I love you? One, you say you cherish it, can instantly be taken away. Then you say, I know this can't be true, when you never took the time to simply tell them I love you. When was the last time that they heard you say, Sister or brother, I love you? And when was the last time that they heard you say, Darling or best friend, I love you? The one for whom you give your very life can be taken in the twinkling of an eye. Through your tears you'd ask, why did you go? Knowing you never took the time to show how much you love them so. These three words, sweet and simple. These three words, short and kind. These three words, always kindle an aching heart to smile inside. I know a family has an sin to their name, and yet the joy and love they have between them, they always claim. And when one's called from life to survive on the lost, it will never be the same. Yet they rejoice in those they gave them their all. These three words, sweet and simple. These three words, short and kind. These three words, always kindle an aching heart, smiling shine. These three words, sweet and simple, an aching heart. You can't let nobody's heart ache now. You gotta let them smile. You gotta let them smile. You gotta smile and shine. These three words.
All right, folks, it's an intermission. You'll have about 5 minutes, and then we're going to pick up on the next piece. I have to put in the next disc. Thank you for being here. Hang tight. Huh. A few more minutes, y'all. Couple minutes, actually. About 60 seconds. Part 2. Here we go. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back. I'm sorry for the disconnect, Instagram.
You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy that we had so many years. I gave you my love. You can only guess how much you gave to me in happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown, but now it's time to travel on alone. So grieve a while for me if grieve you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only for a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on. So if you need me, call me, and I will come. Though you can see or touch me, though you can't see or touch me, I'll be near. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile and welcome home. I love you, Dad.
Aretha Franklin, followed by Miss Aretha Franklin.
I see faces here I haven't seen in a mighty long time. We thank all of you. David Ruffin was a member of two families, so I have two eulogies to read. God writes the music of our life.
I'm gonna bring that back. Hey, Instagram, my YouTube. All right, people, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I apologize. You know, it is what it is. It's real life. I ain't crazy. I ain't perfect. This crap. This stuff, you know. This should be right about right. Let's see where we're at.
Part in bringing about that change. I'll never forget when the five of us walked in the mud in Resurrection City.
I'm gonna back it up just a little bit. Here we go.
There's no place like home.
One more time.
David Ruffin.
One more time.
And then there were three. Oda and me. Why don't you guys come up here around me? Come on, Dennis, Rich, Dixon.
That's for you, YouTube. I'm sorry.
Sing this song. Yes, Cornelius Grant, come on, Cornelius, you know you belong up here. Cornelius, you know you belong up here, baby.
Baby.
Paul is here in the person of his brother, Spoonie Williams. Joseph, raise your hand, Joseph. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I've got the month of May. Well, I guess you say what can make me feel this way, my girl, talking about my girl. I've got so much honey, baby, and baby, oh Lord, I've got a sweeter song
than any bird in the tree. Oh, I guess you say, what can make me feel this way, my dear? Talking about my girl. I'm gonna sing it for you, David. Oh, my. Hey, hey, hey. Oh, I'm gonna do it. Talk about you, David, David. Hey, 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 hey. I don't need no money, my brother. Fortune of fame. Oh, no. David, I've got all the riches. I know you know what I'm talking about. That one man, one skinny man can claim. Oh, yeah, baby. I guess you say, tell me what can make me. That's the way my girl, talking about my girl. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day with my girl. I even got the month of May with my girl. My girl. It's all I can talk about is my girl. My girl, my girl. We love you, David. We'll always love you.
There's no place like home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Aretha Franklin.
Give an honor to God, the Ruffin family. David was truly one of the world's greatest soul singers. And a great soul has gone on.
Ain't gonna be fun. Thank goodness.
Will always be mine. I'm a song of praise, for it was grace that brought my liberty. to love me so. He loves beyond my faults, and so I need, I will forever raise my Lord Jesus. It'll be always. And never, it'll never be goodbye.
God bless you. God bless you to these ministers that embrace us, especially Bishop Ellis of the Greater Grace Cathedral, my friend, Brother Edgar Van, Dr. S.L. Jones, Brother Willie Lee. There ought to be some Christians here. I wish there were some sanctified souls here. There ought to be some Christians here. I said, sin is death. You need something to keep you from you. Because if you don't have something to keep you from you, you're going to destroy you. Finally, there is no escape. No matter where you go, you cannot escape him. No matter where you go, there is no escape. Even in hell. But without his grace, without his mercy, I admonish you to know him this day. Why do we sink in sorrow? Why do we despair about tomorrow when we know what God has done? The same God of yesterday. He, sender of all prophets, the revealer of all truth, the giver of life. To him alone do I submit and seek refuge. I thank Almighty God for Moses and the Torah. I thank him for Jesus and the gospel. I thank him for Muhammad and the Holy Quran. If I live to be 1,000, I don't think I could thank God enough for blessing us with a divine leader, teacher, and guide. And when we are too weak to hold on to life, death overtakes us. or when we are careless with life, death overtakes us. We should not be here to see our favorite entertainers. We should be here to pay respect to life itself. Our respect for our fallen brother ought to have caused reverence in this house. Because funerals are not for the dead. Funerals are reminders to the living who will die. Understand this. David Ruffin cannot hear your word, nor can he appreciate your song. He wanted you to know something of deeper significance of this man. He's more than a song. He's more than an entertainer. He's a divine being put in flesh and blood that has left from among us, but now we, every man born of a woman, has a short time. But the rest of it is, but every man that is born of God don't count no time with him. He's as ageless as God is. He's as timeless as God is. We come up like grass and we are cut down. Life is like a vapor. It appears for a short time and then it's gone. So the question God wants to know is, since you are living, David is gone. What are you doing with the time that you got? What are you doing with the life that you have left? As black men in America, the only way we can escape oppression oftentimes is because we can sing or play a musical instrument or fly higher to the basketball rim or run faster to the football goal than anybody else, because entertainment and sports is our way out of ghetto living. Detroit produced giants in the world of music and giants in the world of sport and play. My brother, David Ruffin, I didn't know him like you know him, but I know him. He is my brother. Born in Mississippi. Anybody born in Mississippi is like a man born in the fiery furnace. David discovered at a young age he could sing. Singing catapulted him to world fame, money, and all of the things that we think make human beings happy. America produces many things, but no thing can make a human being truly at peace, with contentment of mind. So fame catapulted my brother to a height that his own spiritual awareness was not able to help him to master.
I want you to listen to me. You don't know, those of you who are not entertainers, what these marvelous human beings go through to bring us a song. You don't know the life of Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, David Ruffin, Eddie Kendricks, our great performers that we clamor over. Do you think they are happy people? They're not happy with the things their money could buy. They're not happy with the false friends that surround them because fame draws them like manure draws flies. They're not happy with their friends who envy them because they rose above the ghetto. They live tortured lives. Why do entertainers work so hard, practice so long, hours into the night? The wife is calling, come home. Wait a minute, baby, I got one more song I got to sing, one more step I got to learn. Hold it, baby, I'll be there. Son calling, daughter calling, I'll be there, baby. Why do we sacrifice our family for our gift that God has given us? In this world, the black man is nothing without a song. In this world, because we can sing, people admire us. Because we can play a horn, people admire us. Because we can throw a football or box, people admire us. But there's more to Stevie Wonder than a song. There's more to Eddie Kendricks than a song. There's more to Aretha Franklin than a song. There's more to every one of our artists. But we never get acquainted with them. We get acquainted with their talent. We don't know the soul that's crying out beneath it, like in the opera Pagliacci. He was a clown that made everybody else laugh, but he was crying on the inside. Most of our entertainers make their listeners happy, but when they go back to their dressing rooms, there's something about the applause of the crowd, the cheers, they don't last long. Because if you don't make a hit every year and turn them out like General Motors turns out automobiles, then you're up today, down tomorrow, and maybe you can't take the loss of your popularity. Every entertainer needs a spiritual renovation and revelation and resuscitation. Every singer of song, every great artist needs to find God truly, not use God. I said find him. Not play with God, but find him for real in your life. That's the message of David Ruffin. He was really God's man. He couldn't sing like that if God's gift and spirit wasn't in him. He couldn't touch millions as he did if the Spirit of God was not in the words that he sang. But Satan in this world has a way of taking God's gift and corrupting it and using it for his low-life purpose. So our entertainers today have become purveyors of filth. Loose, immoral songs, singing about a love that they know nothing about. the opposite sex. That is not the love that this man was seeking in his life. Excuse me for raising my voice. I'm happy to be here, but I'm sad. I'm sad to see the irreverence of a people who are so entertainment conscious that they don't realize that what they're looking at is somebody who went just a few days before us. And we don't know which one of us in this room will pass through this door next, but it is for sure that every one of us sitting or standing or speaking or in silence will be like this one day soon. So I'm not here to grieve over my brother. No. Bear with me just a few more minutes. In the Quran, it reads, in everything that God created, in it there is a lesson for man if man would be mindful. This is our departed brother. Not a creation of his mother and father, but a creation of God himself. And in David is a lesson. Let us study from our teacher this afternoon, David Eli Ruffin. His middle name, Eli, sounds like the words that Jesus uttered when he was on the cross. Eli, Eli, or Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, David's father wanted him to know his God. David called me one day in Chicago. It's the first and the last time that I ever talked with this, your husband, your father, your brother, your father-in-law. And I'd like to share the conversation. He said, Brother Farrakhan. I said, yes, how are you, David? Man, I'm really happy to hear your voice. He was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, living in the home, he said, of some Arabs who had taken him in. He wanted to know more about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and he said, brother, I'm in a record company. He said, and they pay me sometimes in money and then in drugs. I'm telling you what he said to me. He said, Brother Farrakhan, I want to get out of this. I want to clean up my life. That's what he said to me. I talked to David. I knew I was going out on the road and I would be gone about 3 weeks. I said, hold on. And when I come back, I'll send for you to come to Chicago. And we'll work on that problem together. I said, Brother David, I'll give you some of our lawyers to help you out of the contract. That was the last time I talked with David. When I got back in town, I called the number, and they said he no longer was there. But I later learned he was there. But they didn't want anybody to take their slave. They didn't want anybody
to take their slaves. Talented men and women, but there are bloodsuckers at every turn. You don't want money, you want fame. So in exchange for money, your enemies give you fame and you die with nothing in your pocket and your family left poor, ragged, hungry, and out of doors. This has happened too much, too much, too much. As Stevie said, if we just said the words and followed the words with the action, not say I love you and then give your brother coke. Not say I love you and know your brother's gonna make money, but you're gonna be there with the little white lady, the cocaine. To get your brother high to take his money so that you can get more of those things. David could buy things, but his money couldn't buy happiness. His soul was tortured, and he wanted relief, and he wanted release. In his life, there's a lesson. Fame has to be handled with spiritual strength. Fortune has to be handled with spiritual strength. Power has to be handled with spiritual strength. But somehow we start in the church. We start off singing about the Lord. But somebody shows us how we can make more money singing and doing something else, and gradually we're taken away from God. Easily led in the wrong direction, but hard to go in the right direction. And before you know it, we're like in quicksand sinking. We get married, longing. We have children, but it doesn't answer our longing because we need peace.
Thank y'all.
And my dear brothers and sisters, peace cannot be bought with money. Peace cannot be bought with fame. Peace cannot be purchased with power. Peace can only come when we recognize God and submit our will to do His will. Then we enter into peace. You may not have money, but if you're at peace, money will come. You may not be famous and don't wish to walk in the shoes of the famous because they don't have peace. Walk behind the Master, for He was peace. And He came to offer peace. In my conclusion, my brother David, departed this life looking for peace. He's remembered for the songs that brought joy into so many lives. But this day, let us remember him as a soul from God that was deposited in a flesh and blood body in a strange world, trying to sing the Lord's song in a strange land. Today, David is at peace. something about God. He's not a racist. God don't favor black over white or white over black. God doesn't favor rich over poor, poor over rich, learned over the unlearned, noble over the ignoble. No, 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 no. Paul said he's no respecter of persons. The law of God is equal. Every woman in here that has had a child, she bore that child in fainting and pain. And whether she's white or black, rich or poor, learned or unlearned, wise or foolish, that baby came through that same law. And God brought that baby from the womb of the mother, speaking a universal language. The baby didn't cry in Spanish. It didn't cry in English. It didn't cry in Arabic. It didn't cry in Chinese. It made a sound that is universally recognized. Any baby that cries on this earth, any mother can hear that cry and know what that baby needs. A universal language. God is no respecter of persons. Seems like everybody is equal in birth, because the Quran teaches we're born into the world knowing nothing. We come in bringing nothing, and for certain we can take nothing out. Equality in birth, and look how equal God is in death. The wino on the corner dies, and His Holiness the Pope dies. The brother that's a gangbanger dies, and the president and the prime minister dies. And that's a fool dies, and the prophet who is wise dies. Death comes to all. We're not cheated, because David died at 50. We had him 50 years. Thank God for the time we had him. Thank God for the sweet memories that we will cherish of him. But know this, that death will come to us all. And the only way to escape it is never to have been born. And since we all were born, then for us it is appointed once to die. And so the question comes back to us, the living. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with God's time? Life is like a vapor. It appears for a short time, and then it is gone. David's family remains with needs that have to be met. It is our duty, we who say we love David, help his family. We who say we enjoyed his music, help his children. We who were comforted by David, comfort his family. Dear beloved entertainers, you are mighty, mighty, mighty in this world. Please, dear brothers and sisters, use your gift. Cherish it and use it with wisdom. It is God's gift to you. Give it back to him. Use your melodious voice to lift your people up who are in a valley of hopelessness and despair. Don't feed the sex drive.
in the human being. Come and get it if you can. And you expect them to act like human beings? Lift them up with your song. Lift them up with your dance. Lift them up with your art. And together, in unity, let us protect one another. Let us retrieve our gold mines, our diamond mines. We don't have Johannesburg. We don't have the diamond mines of Kimberly. We got a Stevie Wonder. We got Aretha Franklin. We've got Michael Jackson. We've got Michael Jordan. Look at all the money that is in our talented ones. Suppose consciousness was where money is. Suppose the love of a suffering mass was where the lust for power and fame is. Then we could come together and take our little black babies that are being abandoned and put them in orphanages, that we would take care of them. We could take our unwed mothers and give them wholesome training. We could take this young black brother off the street that nobody cares about, and we could create industry and give jobs to our own. There's much that we could do. There's much that we must do. I think that's why Brother David wanted me to come and share this moment with you. And so, to the family, to the children of David Ruffin, he submitted to God's will. And he has gone on. You know that this is God's will. And if it's God's will, we can't turn it around. Submit that this is God's will and enter into peace. And I pledge to the family of David Ruffin that whatever I can do to help the family, seeking nothing in return, but just to give back to my brother what he gave so much of and had so much more yet to give. I beg you, let us never exploit each other. Let us never be bloodsuckers of one another. When you see a talented sister, a talented brother, come around them and protect them. And as they grow, don't let them grow away from God. Let them in God, so that God is full in their lives, so that when they become famous, they can handle fame, knowing that it's a fleeting thing. Only God is big. Only God is great. I thank God that he didn't make me known when I was a young man seeking things. I thank him that he allowed me to become known when I know there's no value to me except God himself gives me value. I thank you for honoring David today. For in honoring David, we honor the best of ourselves. May God bless you. May God keep each and every one of you. May God lift up his countenance upon you and be gracious unto you and to me. And finally, may God grant each of us the peace that we so sorely need in this hour. Thank you so very much, dear family. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Minister Farrakhan, son of the will of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we're going to ask you to conduct yourselves orderly. We're in the hands of the very capable Mr. O'Neill Swanson, Please conduct yourself orderly. I hope that this message has gone into your hearts as he asks for reverence also.
There it is, y'all. Impossible dream to find the unbeatable foe to bear with unbearable sorrow to run where the brave dare not go to right the unrightable wrong, to love and chased from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star. No matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right, without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know that that'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And quiet you should find, and the world will be better for this. That one man scorned and covered with scars, still slow, with his last house of courage to reach the unreachable star. Good night, y'all. Thank you for hanging out. Damn, that was crazy. Love, love, love. Every one about it. Every one of y'all. Thank you.